Thank you, Kun Kopsuk.
Thailand Rice Convention and World Rice Standards Summit are two related events that allow entrepreneurs, both Thai and foreigners in rice industry, to meet and discuss about rice policies and other related issues involved with importing and exporting rice.
Right. Well, let's move on. Well, both public and private sectors in Beijing have joined hands in a roadshow to increase Chinese travelers to Phuket via online booking. Purit Matwongsa, Marketing Vice President of the Phuket Tourist Association, has reviewed his plan to travel to the roadshow organized by the Phuket Tourist Association from June 19 to 24th. The Phuket Tourist Association, Thai Hotels Association Southern Chapter, Phuket Provincial Administrative Organization, and Tourism Authority of Thailand is led by Paibun Upatsaring, Chairman of Phuket Provincial Administrative Organization, and Sombun Jirayut, Chairman of Phuket Tourist Association, have jointly organized a roadshow to China as part of its overall tourism marketing strategy and present the image of Phuket to further boost support from the Chinese travel community. It is expected to promote online booking for this target group, to open up door to Chinese travelers who want to travel to small groups of 2 and 8 people by arranging their trip via online booking. Furthermore, there's going to be new routes opening up from China directly to Phuket from July onward. Hence, more travelers are expected to travel directly to Phuket because of this opportunity. TAT is set to carry out this promotional tourism marketing strategy for travelers from China from 2011 to 2012. As online booking has rapidly grown in China, there are over 380 million internet users, according to a Chinese report. In 2009, there were 47.5 million Chinese travelers, which had increased 3.6% from 2008, 16% of which booked online. As for 2010, percentage of travelers who booked online had gone up to 27% to around 70 million. And the Chinese government has expected online booking groups of travelers will grow no less than 30% in 2011, primarily to nearby countries, principally within the Asian continent. The income from the online traveling business in 2010 came from 3 sectors: online booking, lodging, and tour packages, which have a value of 4.75 billion yuan, a 20% increase from 2009. Research has estimated the profit to be 9.01 billion yuan by 2013. In addition, Purit said that getting a visa for Europe has been difficult and often takes too long for Chinese travelers. According to the European Tour Operator Association, 58,000 applicants had canceled their visa application in 2010. 314,000 had canceled trips to Europe. Thus, now is the perfect time for promotional tourism marketing in China and to attract more online booking tourists to travel to Phuket. The statistics of Chinese travelers to Phuket is expected to grow continuously. In 2009, over 69,000 Chinese citizens traveled to Phuket, while over 131,000 made the trip to 2010, a 90% increase, according to the stats from Tourism Ministry. This growth is expected to continue this year by no less than 70% due to the increased routes. He added that the promotional tourism marketing will have 14 participants from Phuket, 12 from the hotel business, and 2 from the tourism business. Well, TAT will invite 80 participants from the tourism business to this event. Phuket Provincial Administrative Organization will also hand out Friends of Phuket trophies as souvenirs to the top 10 ranked participants who bring the most visitors to Phuket as a way to thank them on behalf of Phuket Province.
The senior economist at Standard Chartered Bank has suggested that Thailand's next government should consider restructuring the country's growth model to ensure long-term economic sustainability. Asra Witlai Pitch, the bank's senior economist said Thailand should rebalance its strategy, focusing more on agriculture and services while lowering overseas dependency and adding more value to products and services. She said that if the economy was driven largely by manufacturing, it could face constraints in the future, and we should rebalance the country's supply side. Thailand should adopt the sufficiency economy in the next 10 to 20 years as costs of production had imported content and energy cannot be controlled locally. Apart from that, Thailand could benefit from rising demand for agricultural products and surging commodity prices due to global warming and natural disasters. Asara said that there was a long-term upside to the prices. The service sector should also add more value to cater to high-end consumers. Asara said that authorities should help industry with strong supply chains like automotive to raise added value while boosting local inputs and strengthening supply chains. In the past 30 years, the country has focused more on the manufacturing sector and less on agriculture. From 1960 to 70, the agricultural sector contributed about 30% of the country's gross domestic product, or GDP. Now it accounts for less than 10%. Other creative industries that could gain support include advertising and software. The green industry is also expected to gain popularity.
Greece is speaking with the international creditors about a second bailout package, roughly equal to the first 110 billion euro rescue it accepted a year ago. The Prime Minister confirmed Sunday. George Papandreou also blamed Greece's bloated and inefficient state sector for bringing the country to its knees and vowed to effect deep changes with a fall referendum on a constitution that would make it easier to get rid of the inept officials or workers. His proposals were a populist response to widespread popular anger at politicians as austerity measures cut deeply into disposable incomes. Riots erupted on the streets of Athens last week against a new round of spending cuts and tax hikes being demanded by the European Union and the IMF. Papandreou said that he asked for a vote of confidence because they were at a critical juncture. The debt and deficits were national problems that had brought Greece into a state of dependence that might have protected them from bankruptcy, but which they needed to get out of. He dismissed any calls to default on the country's massive debt, saying this would be a catastrophe for households and banks alike, and made it clear he would not back off from efforts to reduce the debt. Papandreou called for an autumn referendum on changes to the political system, including to the country's constitution. He said he will appoint an independent commission of up to 25 people to collect proposals from citizens and submit a report before the fall vote. Papandreou said the constitutional revision will make it easier to prosecute delinquent government officials now protected by a strict statute of limitations. He added other changes would include reducing the number of deputies, more transparent funding of political parties and candidates, and a new electoral system, possibly even with term limits. European donors and the International Monetary Fund are demanding that Greece pass new austerity measures before they release the next 12 billion euro loan from the first rescue package. Many experts say Greece's debt load is too great and expect it to eventually default. The European Central Bank, however, has been adamant that a Greek default is unthinkable because it could set off an unpredictable chain reaction that would badly hurt European banks, royal makers, and make it harder for other indebted countries to cope. The ECB also has significant exposure to Greek debt.
Coming up around Asia with Asian News Network on Marathon in Singapore.